On December 9th, we have two men who truly dislike each other. Devin Haney is coming off a victory over Lomachenko, which created much debate within the sport in terms of who won. This weekend, however, he will no doubt be looking to put on a dream performance to outbox Prograis with a decisive victory, while Regis Prograis on the other hand will be looking to unleash a nightmare with his inner Rougarou and prove he's still the man to beat at 140 pounds. So on that note, let's take a look at some of the tactics required come fight night. Let's start off with Devin Haney. The dream is coming off a victory over Lomachenko, which raised eyebrows in the sport. Regardless if you think he won the fight or not, Haney still put on a very competitive performance against the former pound for pound star. But having moved up in weight now to challenge for a title in his second division, against arguably the best, is a bold move, and he will need to be at the top of his game. For Devin Haney, the key for this fight will be to establish the jab to disrupt Prograis' rhythm, using lots of lateral movement to frustrate him while capitalising on counter-punching opportunities. Going off Prograis' last fight, he was simply not ready to close off the distance, and due to his shorter reach, he had to use lots of feints coming into range and a high guard, and at times struggled. However, sometimes he does use the same movement all too often, such as shuffling forward behind the jab, while he tends to use upper body rolls before using this movement, making it an ideal chance to counter with the right hand or left hook, particularly that right uppercut. I also suspect Prograis will be more the aggressor, so Haney should try to target the body of Prograis like he did in the Loma fight with the right uppercut or hook, as Regis can bend to his left coming into range, as he is a southpaw after all, while it could help to slow him down and create openings upstairs later in this fight. Haney also tends to excel at long-range boxing, as most of us know, and there has been questions about effectiveness in close-quarter exchanges. Prograis may look to exploit the vulnerability here. However, Devin's boxing IQ can show in these moments, as he occasionally likes to tie you up and fight out the clinch to stop you from getting any work off yourself. And as much as Prograis is dangerous at this close range, he can still struggle in this area, especially when he can't get the work off he wants, as seen in his fight versus Josh Taylor for example. So defensively, Haney should focus on maintaining the distance but using clinches strategically when Prograis manages to put the pressure on. However, as much as I think Prograis will try close off the ring, he can struggle when faced with opponents who maintain the distance and use good lateral movement, and this plays right into the hands of Haney in my opinion. Not to mention, Prograis is a much slower paced fighter than someone like Lomachenko, and I feel this may suit Haney in this fight to control him with the jab and set up his own counter punches, as Prograis will try and come into range. While Haney's boxing IQ shows as he tries to gain positional advantage on the outside position versus the southpaw. Where we've also seen Regis get frustrated in the past, which in turn creates those openings. If Haney can stick to a disciplined game plan, controlling him with the jab, set up counter punches as he comes into range, while tying him up at close quarters, he might be able to just put on a dream performance. Now, let's take a look at Regis Prograis. Now, what does the Louisianan have to do in this fight? Now, I feel Prograis is very underrated in a lot of areas, and is a very slick boxer puncher with proven power in the 140 pound division.
Pointed out that you don't want to give him the
But based on his last performance, we observed a few gaps in terms of his ability to close off the distance. However, Zorilla is typically a pressure fighter who stands in the centre with his opponent, so giving him the benefit of the doubt, it was unexpected. But maybe this is a blessing in disguise for his preparation coming into this fight against someone who does prefer to box on the outside. And as mentioned before, Prograis I suspect will be much more of the pressure fighter, and he will need to be far more effective in cutting off the ring in this one. Prograis tends to use a lot of feints coming into range, using lots of upper body and arm movement, which can also lead to counterpunch opportunities if his opponent mistimes or probes out his jab for too long.
Hand by Prograis. Prograis trying to walk him down. Left hand to the body. And a left hand drops him.
Something Haney has been guilty of in the past. And it will be interesting to see if he will rely more on the high guard or a lower lead hand coming into range, as they both have different advantages and disadvantages. But I suspect he will utilise both to see how Haney reacts. Prograis also likes to throw very hard jabs from mid to close range to occupy the space, which in turn can lead to the opponent to throw out unnecessary jabs and once again lead to counterpunch opportunities with the overhand left or to the body. This in itself could disrupt Haney's rhythm with his own jab and make him indecisive if one of his big left hands lands and hurts him. However, I do feel this works much better for Regis when opponents are coming to him rather than the other way around. Overall, I feel that his varying types of power punches thrown and improvement in head movement will be crucial for Prograis. He also needs to manage the distance effectively and remain defensively responsible, and capitalise on any defensive lapses from Haney. While I also think it would be smart to see Prograis try to draw in Haney and box from the outside at times, as he can be a very tricky fighter to hit cleanly, especially with his fantastic defensive rolls and slips, whilst it allows him to counter.
Richmond for Tyron McKenna.
Personally though, I feel it may come down to how well Prograis can close the distance against a seasoned outboxer. But if Regis can bring out his inner Rougarou and manage to land the left hand early and hurt Haney, he might just be able to turn this fight into a nightmare. Overall, I'm intrigued about this fight and how it could turn out, as certainly both fighters have the skill set to cause problems for each other. While I might just favour Haney due to his outboxing ability, I do feel if Prograis can land a deadly left hand and hurt Devin, it could just swing the fight in his favour. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the fight. Who do you think will come out on top? Will Haney be able to outbox him? Or can Prograis land a deadly power punch? This has been Jamie from Boxing Life. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the fight when it comes, and I'll see you in the next one.
In his fights, you do the same thing over and over. And when that shit don't work, everything go out the window. He don't know what to do. He's lost.
Good. I'm glad you keep thinking that. I'm glad, boy.
How old is he? What you think? Was you 32, 33?
4.
Nigga, he ain't finna do nothing different than he ain't been doing. He ain't gonna learn no new moves. He been doing the same thing his whole career. Yeah. It's not nothing he can go in the gym and go work on and go change.
Bro, when I hit you.
Okay. But what if you don't hit me?
Oh, I'm gonna hit you. We got 12 rounds. It's gonna be punishment. I'm gonna punish you, bro. I'm telling you, I'm gonna punish you. You come in a box, I'm coming to fight you.
Okay.
You come in a box, I'm coming to fight.
And we gonna see.
Yeah.
We gonna see.
We gonna see.